G'day folks, Cool here with a follow-up video to installing the lift kit and off-road tyres on the Tesla Model 3. So what are we now, January 13? I started this process probably about a year ago researching it, and finally came to fruition as far as installing all the bits and pieces around I guess September, October of 2024. And been in for a few months now, I guess at least 3, so altogether. So various bits and pieces have come in and stayed in, and I really like it. So altogether now the car is 50 millimeters taller. Does make it easier getting in and out of. So I understand the attraction to the Model Y as far as if you've got back or hip issues or whatever, getting in and out is a bit easier, which is nice. A lot of people have been asking about economy. What will putting a 2-inch lift kit in and taller profile tyres do to your economy? And the answer is now that I had a first response around 1,000 kilometres and it didn't look like much. Now I've got 3,659 kilometres to be exact under the belt since I thought I'd show a little bit more, I guess, like facts and science and evidence. So I reset this when I put on the smaller wheel. So I went from a 19-inch wheel down to an 18, and this is the economy that I'm getting now on average. So keep in mind, I live regional, it's my front yard, and so we pretty much don't get great mileage because of where we live. We don't do inner city stuff where you get really good economy. So our average speed zone is 80 and higher, so therefore our economy isn't going to be as good as many people. So that's what ours is, and that's what it was before we did the lift kit. And this I reset, I think from memory, before we headed up to the Northern Territory and Uluru, Kings Canyon, Alice Springs, and back around again. Did 2 years ago, did that trip, and that was 6,000 kilometers in just over 3 weeks. That was a great trip. So as far as some people said, oh look, you're going to add at least 40 watt hours per kilometre on, it hasn't. It's added 2 so really negligible. So worth doing from an economy point of view, absolutely, because it really hasn't changed anything. Ride performance point of view, I think that big win. Really, that's been the fantastic win. For those of you that have driven a Model 3 and a Model Y, you'll realise that it's chalk and cheese when it comes to ride comfort. The Model Y is just horrible. It's just rough and harsh, particularly the first ones. The second edition, when they fixed the suspension up a bit, what was that, 23 I think, they changed the rear suspension design, that was a bit more comfortable. Still nothing like any of the Model 3s, they're a lot more comfortable. So hopefully the Junipers that come out in May will be following the Tesla Model 3's re-release as far as the Highland setup for the rear suspension and increased performance. However, if you want to improve your Y or 3 and you're not happy with the harshness, I really recommend, if you want to make it softer yet still handle well, take the harshness out of the potholes and the bumps, go down to an 18-inch tyre and increase the height of your side walls in the rubber. So let's just hop out of the car. 31 degrees is nice and cool in the car, but anyway, let's hop out and show you what we've done. So we can see here the cars, well, that's just normal here, just dusty, dirty and stuff. We've got a lot of dirt roads to do. So these are the different wheels I put on. I didn't go for the Tesla 18s because they're just too expensive and they're really heavy. They're just, if you have a look at a lot of Tesla YouTubes on around how every extra kilo you have on a wheel adds to your economy or lack thereof. So if you go for a good quality lighter wheel, of course work out the one that's got to be able to handle the weight of the car. you'll be able to see the lift kit in there. This is from Mountain Pass Performance in Canada. They were great to deal with and had it shipped out nice and quick. We've got the All Terrain tyre here. This is a Geolander Geo 15 All Terrain, and the profile I went with is 225/50 R18. And this is just really comfortable, handles wet and dry super well. And when I got these put on it, thanks to the good folks at Aussie Tyres at Bayswater, an extra service they'd had is the hub was silver before, but to match the matte black and the matte black of this being a 21 model, we decided to paint the hub black and go with the red calipers as well at the same time. So that's kind of a value add service they did, which was terrific. So that's the back, and the front. You can see in here, there's the spacer for the front lift kit. So this was installed by Rangers Mechanical Services in Ferntree Gully, who did a terrific job. And the stance of the car now sits really well when it comes to, well, we do a bit of off-roading. Really looking forward to the snow this year, because it'll have a lot better chance of not getting stuck with the nose digging in deep, but that'll be really good. So that's been a great addition, really recommend it. Still handles the corners going through the black spur every day really quite well, but the extra height is terrific. The other thing that was a really good add-on, if you haven't found one of these yet, is to go and have a look at Enhance Auto, or if you just Google Sexy Knob, S3XY, Sexy Knob or Sexy Buttons. So this is what it looks like here, and you can configure this using your phone, configure the various pages and what you want it to do. I've got it configured to do all sorts of fantastic things. But one of the reasons I bought this, I guess the main reason that attracted me to this is it has a function called off-road mode. So this is in some Model Ys, and the only Model 3 can get it in is you can kind of make a fake off-road mode with the performance by mucking around in the dashboard and getting the settings balanced between front and back, and do a whole lot, bunch of stuff, which is a bit of a pain. But if you just got a long range like mine, you don't have that option. But if you get this, you will have that option that unlocks off-road mode. So car's plugged in at the moment, I can't demo that, but if I put it in drive, that'll unlock all the different things I've got for drive, because I've got it set up for, if I put it in drive, it shows you a whole bunch of pages. Park is a bunch of different pages, and then when I've even got it in reverse, it's different pages. So for example, I find the reverse is too dark, so I've got the reverse fog light and mirrors and stuff are available, just a quick press of a button for when I've got it in reverse, but also when I've got it in park here too. But the feature with the off-road mode is I can just press the button and off-road mode comes on. That does what is the version of what's called a central diff lock. If those of you have been into four-wheel driving before, it locks a 50-50 perfectly even split between the front and rear. If you're on ice, particularly going uphill, you're not going to be slipping and carrying on between the front and back wheels and losing traction and slipping off the road potentially. So there you go, folks. There's my roundup of the lift kit, going down from a 19-inch wheel to an 18-inch wheel with higher profile tyres. Overall, about 50mm extra lift, which is right on the legal limit for a non-four-wheel drive. They have a 75mm limit you can lift those before it's getting a bit illegal and out of shape. So that is still legal, and handles great, sucks up bumps beautifully. It's a really nice, comfortable ride now. So highly recommended if you've got a Model 3 or a Model Y and you want to get a bit more comfort. I certainly recommend going down to an 18. They won't go on a performance, of course. Your brake calipers are too big. You'll certainly get a 19 on, but not an 18. But for long ranges, anything without the performance calipers, you will get an 18-inch wheel on fine, and the larger profile tyres. And the Model Y, you'll even be able to get a higher profile than what I've got here. This just has the limitation of the steering knuckle, which you've got a little bit more clearance on the Model Y than what I've had from here. But yeah, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to do so. I'll put a couple of links in the description for the lift kit from Mountain Pass Performance, and also for the sexy knob and the sexy buttons. The sexy buttons, I've also got a couple of those on here on the I'll just put them on the back of the steering wheel just for when I'm driving. It's easy just to click them, so they're just easy access. Could we live in the mountains here, sometimes when you drop really quickly, you can have everything just fog up. It happens in all cars, happens in our ICE vehicle, happens in my other vehicle as well. Just with the drop in altitude really quite quickly on a humid night, it can fog up everything really quickly, so it's great just to be able to press that and have your demister come on without having to look at the screen or anything. And the same with the fog lights. I've got on the other side that puts the fog lights on instantly as well. So yeah, the sexy knob, the sexy button's terrific. I'll link to that and the lift kit and all that sort of stuff. As far as wheels and tyres, there are so many options out there for 18-inch wheels. Great talking to you. Good luck modifying Teslas. A lot of fun. There's so many options now. There's just heaps. Just go forth and modify and enjoy it. Good on yous.